Hello, everyone. So for our project, we chose to do research on the 2017 flooding in Nigeria. And this project is done by Amanda Campos, Logan Sook, and Zeke Eller. So the 2017 Bueno State flooding took place in September 2017 in central Nigeria. Flooding in this area is very common due to heavy rains and the Bueno River, which runs through the area. So for the weather patterns that are causing these floods, heavy rainfall is the main source of all the flooding, and it has increased the likelihood of rivers overflowing and flash floods. So Nigeria's flood problem is also caused by poor dam control and poor town planning as well. So it's not just from the heavy rainfall. Nigeria's population is also expanding very rapidly. So it's currently estimated at 186 million people. And so this lack of proper town planning can make flooding worse in these urban areas. So for the magnitude of the flooding and the continuance of it, so data from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency saw that from 1981 to 2017, they analyzed 13 affected locations for floods in Nigeria, and it revealed a rising trend in annual rainfall, which shows rainfall is a significant factor responsible for all these floods. But again, Nigeria's flood problem is also caused by dams and poor town planning, which is why these floods are just so frequent. And also due to global warming, it is anticipated that the sea levels will rise between 50 centimeters and 1 meter this century. However, these rising sea levels risk bringing saltwater onto arable lands, and this has become a perennial problem. And climate change means farmers in these coastal areas are at greater risk than ever, which leads into our next topic, the societal and economic impacts. So flooding threatens sustainability because it negatively affects the economy, social life, environment, and health. From the 2017 flooding, it was reported that it affected over 250,000 people in some way in the eastern central region. It also displaced over 100,000 people, and 12 local government areas of the state were affected, and around 4,000 homes were damaged. And over this time, $16.9 billion has been lost over the years from the frequent floods. Flooding has become an annual event, resulting in loss and destruction of properties worth millions. The negative impacts of flooding are felt more in developing countries like Nigeria because of its lower level of development. However, the frequent flooding keeps holding back Nigeria from ever developing into a stable country. So as of right now, there is no concrete legal framework or flood management policy to address this perennial problem. There hasn't really been an effort by the government to solve this problem either. The drainage systems are poorly designed, with most of the drains that they're just too narrow and shallow, and they're poorly maintained and blocked by silt and solid waste, as you can see on the picture on the right. And then the dams existent within this area or just throughout Nigeria, they do not aid in stopping the floods. So Nigeria's main electricity generating dams have excess water from the heavy rains, and excess water has had to be released downstream. For example, residents who live in the areas that the floods continue to live in these areas because of lack of alternatives, cultural affinity, family ties, their occupations, and the availability of cheaper houses to rent. If the impact of flooding is to be reduced in the future, the consequences of rapid urbanization and poor urban planning need to be addressed. And greater cooperation with Nigeria's neighbors in the control of river levels will need to be achieved in order to avoid dangerous surges in water levels during the periods of heavy rain. And then these are the sources that we use throughout this project. Thank you and have a good day.